busy season happens when there are more tasks than there is time. Now, whether you are in corporate or in entrepreneurship, it is inevitable. You will experience a busy season. And the opportunity for growth is not to be intimidated or frustrated with the busy season, but instead to embrace it. And it's my desire for you to be able to thrive even when there is a lot on your plate. So in this conversation, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 tips to manage your busy season. Welcome to the Dream Lifestyle Podcast, your place to build your faith and master your craft. Before we jump into our conversation, let me know in the comments, what are you doing right now to intentionally grow? All right. What are you doing right now to intentionally grow? What are you doing to improve, whether it be in your mindset, whether it be in your productivity, whether it has to do with your physical health, even if it's your finances? What are you doing to intentionally improve your life? Okay. So today we're talking about busy seasons. We're talking about busy seasons, and this is a relevant topic just because I'm in the middle of a busy season myself, but also at the same time, I recognize that I'm not alone. I'm not alone in being in the middle of a busy season. And for me, I would define a busy season simply as a period of time where there just simply is a lot more tasks than there is time. Okay. A lot more tasks when there is time. And that's totally natural and it's totally okay. And I believe in a lot of ways, we need to shift our mindset when we go into these busy seasons, whether they are planned or even unplanned. Most of the times the busy seasons come unexpectedly, but it is important that we just understand when we're thinking about striving, when we're thinking about succeeding and achieving, it's a part of the process. There are going to be seasons when, there's going to be more tasks than time. There are going to be seasons where there's a lot on our plates to do. But that's number one, just kind of understanding this is just a part of it, right? So there's no reason to really be frustrated about it. There's no reason to be intimidated by it or anything like that. But it is just understanding, okay, this is a part of it. But then also at the same time, to just bring a level of peace into the equation when you're in the middle of your busy season, because, when you're in your busy season, it can feel hectic. It can feel chaotic. It can just feel like total disorder and disarray. But we need to understand that it is a season. It is only a season, but it only becomes a season so long as we handle our business while we're in it. And so I'm going to be sharing with you 3 tips that'll help you manage it. And these are 3 things that I'm doing currently myself as I'm in the process of, handling my role as a campus minister, handling my role as a CEO over 2 companies, as well as a marriage and everything like that. Right. So here are 3 things. The first thing that you need to do is you need to define success for the season. You need to define success for the season. And this is important because, again, if we understand that, again, busy seasons are simply a part of the equation, they're a part of the process, but we also really just understand and believe the fact that, okay, this is only for a season, meaning there's a start date and there is an end date to this. There's a start date to this busy season, but eventually this busy season will end. So you need to be able to clearly define what success is for the season. So what is it that you're looking to achieve in the busy season? And this is going to help you when it comes to basically communicating with people around you, particularly for those of you that maybe you manage teams, or even if you're a part of a team, being able to just understand, okay, this is what we're going for. While we are in the midst of this busy season, while I am in the midst of this busy season, here's what I'd like to see happen. Here's the goal from this season. And you're basically, again, just giving yourself targets to strive for. So that way, as you create the plan, as you create the strategy, as you do whatever it is that you need to do in the middle of your busy season, you're not all over the place. You're not, again, operating from a place of, just straight chaos, where it's like it's just a complete whirlwind where you're just waking up and you're just doing a bunch of stuff with no real strategy behind it, with no real purpose or intention behind it. So when you actually define success for the season, now when you are taking the action steps to handle whatever the tasks are in order to complete them, you're able to really know, okay, is this action going to lead me to where I need to go? Is this movement, is this intentional thing, whatever step it is that you're going to take, is this going to get me where I need to go at the end of this season? Because again, there is a start date and there is an end date. But if we don't define success, we'll find ourselves just running around like a chicken with its head cut off. So you want to be able to define the success for the season and even write it down, because the fact is, and I know there's statistics behind this, what is not written down is often forgotten. So if you are in the middle of a busy season, or when you're in your next busy season, because if you're not in one now, I promise you it's coming, write down what success is for the current season. Just write it down and then have it somewhere that you always see it, whether you have it in your notes on your phone, have it on your desk, wherever the place is that's really going to be beneficial to you. But make sure that you have a clear definition of, okay, this is what I'm looking to achieve in my busy season. So that way I'm taking effective action steps, as opposed to I'm just doing a whole bunch of stuff and now I'm burnt out. Now I'm tired. Now I'm frustrated and annoyed. Make sure you define where it is that you actually want to go. What position are you looking to be in as a result of the action steps that you take? Again, that's being intentional, because there already is more task than time. So you don't hurt yourself by taking the time to even just write out, you know what, for the next 3 months, the next month, 2 months, whatever time period you would guess that your busy season is in, this is what I'd like to see happen, right? There's a lot on my plate. So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm telling you, this is something that I'm currently doing in real time right now, between church, between Craft Your Dream, 10 Media, as well as just all the other things that I'm over and involved in. So when you are defining success for your busy season, it will be a lot easier for you to create the proper and effective action steps for you to thrive in the busy season. Now, the second thing that you're going to need to do to effectively manage your busy season is you're going to need to prioritize tasks. Now, this is important because, as I mentioned before, a busy season is when everywhere you look, there's just something to do. Every single role that you fill, every title you hold, there's just something with your name on it. And that's why the power of prioritization comes into play, because even when I should say that you define success for the season, you're still going to end up with, call it a laundry list of to-dos. You're going to come up with a laundry list of tasks that are going to need to be completed. Not everything is as important as it may feel. Now, this is difficult because this is where hard choices have to be made, because you may have something to do with work and you may have something to do with at home, let's just say, but you need to develop the ability to prioritize, okay, based on what I have to do at work, this is the impact of it. Based on what I have to do at home, this is the impact of it. And you basically measure it out in terms of, okay, which one, and this is a good question to ask yourself when you're thinking about what to prioritize, what will give me the greatest return on my investment of work? Which one needs to be completed first? When you ask yourself these two questions, what is going to give me the highest rate of return, as well as what needs to be completed first? Now you give yourself peace of mind, because you actually have a better understanding of, okay, this is what I need to focus on and complete 100%, as opposed to 10% of here, 10%, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all over the place. You're able to, again, just lock in on, okay, here are the key steps that I need to take, and I can just take my time and knock them all out. But it starts with, again, prioritizing the task and asking yourself those two questions. What can I complete that's going to give me my best return on investment based on whatever need that I have? But then also, what needs to be completed first? So for example, if you have a personal task that is basically, let's say the deadline for it is in 2 days, and you have a work task that is not really due for another 7 days. The easy answer is, okay, I need to prioritize the personal task simply because the deadline for that task is in 2 days. Or, for example, if you know that right now you're in a season where I need to make money, I'm in a season that I need to bring in more income into this household, right? If that's where you are, you might prioritize work tasks over personal tasks, simply because the work task will give you a higher return on your investment, depending on your situation. Right? I can tell you from my own personal experience as an entrepreneur, when I'm in those types of spaces, when, okay, I need to bring in some extra income, I prioritize the activities that bring me in money, because those are the activities that give me the highest rate of return, because it's going to return to me something that I actually need and want. Now, because I think about it this way, as I'm actually taking the action steps, I don't need to be, and again, this is the power of prioritizing. When I'm taking the action steps, I still have peace, even though I'm working on the main thing, because the main thing is the main thing. I'm not working on the top prioritized thing, but then worrying, well, I'm not getting to the other thing, just simply because I've made a mental decision, a personal decision to prioritize this. So I don't have to worry, or I don't have to think about, task 4 when I'm still on task 2. I can just lock in on the task that I'm on and still have peace of mind to know, okay, this is what I got to get done. Okay, this is what I got to get done. And so again, we're doing all of this so that way, because I'll say it like this. Managing your busy season is more about your mentality towards the season. It's really not about doing the things, because busy seasons are an opportunity for us to raise our standards with our productivity. Busy seasons are an opportunity to see what you're really made of when it comes to your productivity. Busy seasons are an opportunity to prove to you how good you are. And again, I'm not saying this to you as a way to just talk. This is real stuff where you're able to prove something to yourself, to say, you know what, usually it would take me a month to complete that task. But you know what, because I was put in the position and put under pressure, I was able to get it done in 2 days. Now your new standard can be, well, I get it done in 2 days, right? But that's simply because there was an intentional effort put in towards managing effectively the busy season. So like I said, you need to prioritize your tasks so that way you have peace of mind, but you're also then able to properly order the tasks that you gave yourself when you define success in the season. When you are prioritizing tasks, you need to ask yourself, which task is going to give me the highest rate of return? But then you also need to ask yourself, which task needs to get done the fastest? And when you ask yourself these 2 questions with your laundry list of to-dos, it will be a lot easier for you to take steps forward toward success in the busy season. The last thing that you're going to need to do to effectively manage your busy season is you need to find your above and beyond effort. Find your above and beyond effort. What do I mean? At the end of the day, you're in a busy season, and we are choosing to embrace our busy season. We are not being intimidated by our busy season. We're not allowing it to annoy us. We're not allowing it to frustrate us. We are choosing to run towards the mark. We are choosing to thrive in our busy season. And so that means there's going to need to be an above and beyond effort in this current season. And I can promise you, you can do it. I know it may feel like a lot. I know it may even feel unfair, but you can do it. And even deeper than that, it's worth it. How much better would your life be if you really came out on the winning side after every single busy season, where you were able to come out every single busy season, able to say, I got better? And that's the opportunity that we have when we are presented with our busy seasons. So as you are in the middle of your busy season, or as you're preparing for a busy season, or just whenever you are in your next busy season, you need to find your above and beyond effort. What does this look like practically? Practically, an above and beyond effort means maybe you usually shut down work at 6 p.m. Maybe your above and beyond effort means I'm just going to give myself 2 more hours every day for the next month towards these tasks that need to be completed. Give yourself more time to complete the task. Or, as opposed to looking at the quantity of time, pay attention to the quality of time. Maybe your above and beyond effort may be, if you know that usually on a normal work day, work schedule, just your normal environment for work, you might usually have music playing, and you're able to get things done, you're productive, but you need to raise the bar. So maybe you turn the music off for the next month and you just lock in, and do what you have to do with your work. But you need to make sure, again, that you are doing something that is above and beyond, because as the saying goes, in order to get something that you've never had, you got to do something you've never done. So that means there needs to be an exerted effort, an intentional effort to go above and beyond. And these intentional efforts and these above and beyond efforts are crucial because they can apply to many different areas. They can apply to the work itself. They can apply to communication. They can apply to just your normal morning routines and whatever. They apply to really anything, but you have to be intentional with making the effort to do something. You have to be intentional about, okay, this is what I'm going to do to go above and beyond. I'm going to raise my standard. I'm going to step up to the plate. I'm not going to think that I can continue to do what I'm doing now and be able to get a better result. You're practicing insanity, because insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So if you know that in this busy season, I've determined that this is what success looks like, and you've gone through the process of even prioritizing, this is how I'm going to do it, with basically making that priority list. Now you need to say, okay, this is the work that is required in order to make it happen. So again, this is about really embracing your busy season. This is embracing it and saying, okay, this is what I'm a part of. And, this is just another example that came to my mind. But when you think about even going above and beyond, it might just mean saying no more. It might mean you might need to go the next month of less hangouts. You might need to go the next month of staying in, whatever that may be, where if usually you go out with friends every week. Well, when you're in the middle of your busy season, your above and beyond effort may be, saying no to the friends and staying in just a little bit longer, and maybe adding another 3 to 4 hours worth of work to your day, or adding another 3 or 4 hours of work to your week, however your work schedule is. But you need to find it, though. You need to find your opportunity to go above and beyond. In the same way, for people who lift weights, if you really want to get stronger, you have to lift heavier weights. There's no way you're really going to be able to get stronger and stay at the same weight. Sure, you can do more reps and all that's nice, but if you really want to get stronger, eventually you will have to add more plates to that bar. You're eventually going to have to put yourself under more pressure and put yourself in an environment where you really have to step up and raise your standard. So as you are thinking about, again, finally, of how to effectively manage your busy season, you are going to need to find your above and beyond effort. Okay. So just to recapping everything that we talked about. Number one, you need to define success for the season. Define success for the season. And this is with the understanding that busy seasons are just a part of this process, as well as that the busy season is exactly that. It's just a season. It has a start date and it has an end date. But you need to define, this is what I want to have achieved at the end of this busy season. The second thing is you need to create a priority list. You need to prioritize what is important by asking yourself, what task is going to give me the greatest return on my investment of work, as well as what task needs to be completed the fastest. So that way you can know what to work on when. And then finally, you need to find your above and beyond effort. You're going to need to do something different so that way you can get a bigger result than you've ever gotten. Okay. And so whether that's saying no to things, whether that's adding things, whatever you need to do to go above and beyond in your effort, that's what you're going to need to do in order to thrive in your busy season. Well, I hope that you guys got value out of our conversation today. Be sure to leave me a comment to just let me know what you think. Let me know if anything works for you, because I'd certainly love to hear from you. And I'd ask you to just share this with someone. Share this conversation with someone, because whether you're in your busy season or even if you're not in your busy season, I'm willing to bet you know someone that is. And so I'll ask you to share, leave a comment, like this episode as well. It'd be super helpful to the channel and everything like that. But listen, always remember your dream is possible as long as you are willing to work for it. As you prepare for next week's episode, go check out last week's episode, and I'll see you next week.